Hey guys, what is going on and welcome to this video. Today we're going to be talking about my Amazon FBA business and how it ultimately did not work out. But we got 5 takeaways that I learned from this experience so that you can avoid these things moving forward. So let's go ahead and get right into it. All right, so we are using the Paint application on my computer to visually see the 5 takeaways from failing my Amazon FBA business. So let's go ahead and get right into number 1. Here we go. The seller website is not user-friendly. So yeah, guys, basically the main dashboard, the main platform that is used for Amazon sellers, it is absolutely horrible. It is just not easy to navigate at all. And even as I got more used to it, it was still a pain in the butt to really get the data that I needed to get. Obviously, with time, you get better at using the platform. However, I used the platform for around 4 months and it really did not help me at all. And it was difficult to learn where everything was and to find the right pieces that I needed to complete my puzzle. So I actually made an article on Medium about this exact topic, and I want to mention that the learning curve for the Amazon seller website is just so difficult. You pretty much have to intentionally practice using the site and obviously getting that real world experience of using the site and finding things that you need. It will help you in the long run, but I have a theory that Amazon makes it difficult on purpose to actually use their site. My reason for that is because they feel like they can. If they made it too easy, then they would have a bunch of sellers who didn't really know what they were doing and weren't committed. Kind of like me. Like, for example, I made so many mistakes during that business, but I learned so much out of it and I really grew as a person from it. So it really was a great experience. All right, so we're moving on to number 2 for my 5 takeaways from failing Amazon FBA. Let's go ahead and see what number 2 is. We have Amazon fees are outrageous. And this is just completely true. Amazon fees are absolutely ridiculous. And it's really insane how many fees they charge for. Like, they charge high amounts for a ton of different things. And obviously it's called fulfillment by Amazon. So there should be fees. They need to make money for doing all the fulfillment stuff, but they fee you for every single thing they do. It was to the point where it seemed like they were feeing me for just being able to breathe. So yeah, that's kind of how I felt with the fees, and they just kept getting worse. As inflation kind of kept creeping up, so did Amazon's fees, and it really was not an ideal situation being in an Amazon selling position. Even for the more experienced people, they were getting very frustrated as well. So you can only imagine me as a newbie to the Amazon FBA game. It was not ideal. In my article, I made a reference that everyone wants a piece of the pie. Well, Amazon wants the entire pie when it comes to the money. So just keep that in mind. They really are a business. I mean, obviously they're there to make money, and whatever they can fee you and get away with without causing too much harm and resistance from the Amazon selling community, they're going to take advantage of that. All right, we're moving on to number 3 here for the top 5 takeaways. Let's go ahead and see what number 3 is. We have people return low quality products. So guys, you've probably seen a bunch of YouTube videos, or maybe you haven't seen these advertisements, but people basically trying to sell you courses about how to properly do Amazon FBA. And I bought a few of those courses that totaled to be about $150. So luckily I didn't spend too much on courses, but basically what I learned from those courses is that you can basically import products from China, and that's kind of what I did. I chose products that were not the highest of quality, but they were on the cheaper side. And I was like, hey, what could go wrong? I'm just here to obviously make some money. And yeah, it was an interesting experience because whenever I did get some sales, it always seemed like they were just getting returned. And that's because the packaging was low quality, the product itself was low quality, and it's very important to put emphasis on the quality of your products, because if you don't, they're just going to end up getting returned, and then there's return fees for Amazon, so they all kind of compound together against you. So you want to make sure you're minimizing your returns from Amazon. So yeah, it's important that you're aware of that. So yeah, and here's a little bonus tip. If I were to do this all over again, I would spend so much more time on product research and making sure that I would ensure that it's a high quality product. And if it wasn't a high quality product, I would make something better and I would turn it into a high quality product, because getting returns is the most frustrating thing, because you had the money, but then it just gets refunded and then it's just like you don't have the money anymore. So refunds suck, and it's important that you minimize your returns as much as possible. All right, this brings us to takeaway number 4. Let's go ahead and see what we got. Amazon support is horrible. This is 100% true. Amazon support does not help you really at all. They take a while to respond, and they don't really respond from a human perspective. They just respond from like a template of things that they are allowed to tell you about the support that you need. It's not like you're having a one-on-one human conversation when you're emailing them or when you're getting support from them. It's like you're talking to a robot that doesn't even know what it's doing. It's like, if it was AI, it would be like AI like 0.5. Like it's not even on the helpfulness scale, like for 1.0 or 2.0. No, it's not even helpful. So just be aware that you're pretty much on your own, and you would have to really rely on a mentor who's done it before to really help you out. And that's another thing. If I were to do this all over again, I would definitely research a mentor who's done it before. I would invest in a mentor, because having someone who's done this thing before and gives advice to you pretty much whenever you need it, it's worth the investment, because even though it might cost, some money up front for the mentor, it could really save you a bunch of money in the long run. So I highly recommend getting a mentor. This was another bonus tip for you guys. And yeah, once again, I really feel like Amazon does this on purpose. They don't really need to have good support, because their best sellers know what they're doing, and it's really hard for new sellers to enter the market because it's so competitive and there's just so much stuff to learn. And this brings us to our fifth and final takeaway here. Let's go ahead and see what it is. When you quit, the game is not over yet. Notice how I said when you quit, because you're more than likely going to fail on Amazon FBA. It's so hard to make it in the Amazon FBA space, and it's really important that you know what you're doing so much before you even get started and put a single dollar into it, because without proper research, without proper investing in a mentor, you're going to fail and it's going to stink. But yeah, when I say the game is not over yet, there's still definitely a bunch of things that you need to do when you stop doing Amazon FBA. Once you kind of dig yourself in a hole, you kind of have to get out of that hole somehow. It's like, yeah, you have a bunch of unsold inventory. What are you going to do with that inventory? Are you just going to have Amazon throw it away for you? Are you going to have them send it back to you? And that costs more fees, by the way. What are you going to do with that inventory? It's really important you figure that out. You have to make sure to cancel all your listings. You have to make sure that everything with your operations is going to come to a stop, because if you don't do that, then you're going to continue to get feed for outstanding inventory or for other things that Amazon has to do that you might have forgotten about. I wrote down in the article that if you just quit cold turkey and don't take these precautions, you will lose more money from fees. It's so true. You have to make sure that all your checklist is canceled. You have to stop everything. You have to make sure that everything comes to a stop. Otherwise, you're going to get feed, it's going to suck, and you're going to hate it. So yeah, guys, those are my 5 big takeaways about Amazon FBA. I highly recommend you just stay away from Amazon FBA. I did not have a good experience with it. However, I did learn some key life lessons early on in my business career. When I started this business, I was only 20 years old. I'm currently 21, soon to be 22. So, I've had a lot more room to grow, and it's been great to be able to do so. But yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Also, be sure to leave a like and also subscribe to the channel if you're new. And with that being said, I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.